we were studied the external and internal ecological adaptations in the roots of hydrophytes. Now we will going to see what are the external and internal adaptations in the stem of hydrophytes. Like a root, stem of hydrophytes also shows some external adaptations and some internal adaptations, and these adaptations help the stem as well as a particular hydrophytes as a survival benefit in the particular environment conditions. Now we will see what are the external adaptive features in the stem of hydrophytes. You might be know that some of the hydrophytes are floating, some are submerged, some are amphibians, and accordingly their stem shows the modification or adaptations. In submerged hydrophytes, the stems are elongated and wiry, and they do not show the development of the mechanical tissue. Such stem becomes a very flexible, and when water is flows with the along with the water flow, such stem can also be easily bent, and the hydrophytes save themselves. So like this some adaptations are there in the stem of hydrophytes. In submerged hydrophyte, the stem is long, slender, that is somewhat thin and flexible like a wire. So that flexibility can help the stem to get change direction along with the water flow. So that is what the thing. For example, in case of hydrilla, you will see such kind of modification. The long, slender, thin and wiry or flexible stem is there. In some of the hydrophyte, the stem is green because of the presence of chlorophyll pigments in their cells, and such stem can help for the photosynthesis, or they can take the function of photosynthesis, and they can compensate the rate of photosynthesis that got reduced because of the reduced size of the leaves, and that is why the stem cell can also help for the photosynthesis, and the photosynthesis can get compensated. In case of free floating hydrophytes, the stem is slender and floating horizontally on the surface of water, not remain erect. For example, azolla. The azolla plants develops the another plants from their reduced stem that can grow horizontally and gives out the new plantlet of azolla. In some of the free floating hydrophytes, the stem is very thick, short, spongy and stoloniferous, means the stem got reduced, that is somewhat thick, and they gives out the horizontal structure, horizontal slender structure, that is called as a stolon, and that stolon from the node again gives out the another new plant. So for example, in case of Eichhornia, you will see such kind of modification. In some of the hydrophytes, basically in case of the free floating, the stem is rhizomatous, or in case of rooted floating hydrophytes, you will see their stem is rhizomatous and becomes very strong. For example, in case of the Nymphea plant, the stem is remain under water and that is reduced, and the roots are given out, adventitious roots are given out, and that can anchor to the substratum of the soil. Mostly in most of the hydrophytes, externally there is a very good adaptation is seen, that is in case of the vegetative propagation. The stem plays an important role in vegetative propagation. The different modification of the stem help the particular hydrophyte for propagation, and the propagative organ given by the suppressed or reduced stem, like a runners, some of the hydrophytic plants develops runner, stolon and offset, and these structures grows horizontally, and they can help for the vegetative reproduction of the particular hydrophyte. These are the some of the external adaptations seen in the stem of the hydrophytes, and these adaptations help a hydrophyte to survive in the plenty of water. Now we will see what are the internal adaptations are seen in the stem. The internal adaptations of root and stem are not much different, because both the organs are have a more or less similar function. Whatever water and minerals are absorbed by the root, that can be conducted some of the tissue of the stem, and the food material provided through the stem tissue, some tissue. So similarly, some internal ecological adaptations also develop in the stem of hydrophytes, and that can help for the survival. For example, the epidermis of a hydrophytic plant stem is without cuticle. Cuticle is absent in case of the hydrophytic stem. If present, that is a very thin. Why such modification is developed? Because without cuticle, the stem can help for the transpiration of the water. Excess water can be thrown out from the epidermis cells. So there is no need to check a rate of transpiration. The plenty of water from the body of the plant can be easily thrown out if the cuticle is remain thin or absent. Then epidermis is single layer, thin walled and parenchymatous. So epidermis is also not well developed, that is a single layer and thin parenchymatous. So stem can easily get bent down to any direction. But the rhizome has a well developed epidermis. The rhizome of the hydrophytic plant has a well developed epidermis. Most of the epidermis cells in their cortex or some parenchymatous cells shows the presence of chlorenchyma, and these chlorenchymatous stem cells help for the photosynthesis. So they can also take over the function of leaves if the leaves are absent or reduced in some of the hydrophytes. In submerged hydrophytes, the stem is without hypodermis, so there is no need to remain a stem erect or to get a more mechanical support. Otherwise, or the stem need a flexible structure, and that is why the hypodermis are remain absent. Hypodermis are somewhat mechanical tissue. Cortex is well developed, and that is also categorized as a outer cortex and inner cortex. Obviously, the cortex shows the large number of air cavity or aerenchyma, and these helps for buoyancy or for floating the stem on the surface of water, and also for the exchange of gases. In some hydrophytes, vascular bundles are small, many they remain scattered in the cortex. Endodermis is distinct in rhizomes. Vascular bundle without bundle sheath, again this can shows the mechanical tissue are not well developed, and overall the mechanical tissue are absent in the hydrophyte stem. You can see this is what a stem of hydrilla, internal structure. This is a outermost single cell layer of parenchymatous cell without cuticle, called as a epidermis. Then cortex with a full of air cavities. Then endodermis single layer. Xylem is less developed or reduced as compared to phloem cell. So these are the some internal adaptations occurs in the stem of hydrophyte. By means of these adaptive structures, the hydrophytes can get help for survival in the water rich condition. The external and internal modifications or adaptations in the leaves of hydrophyte, that we will see or we will study in the next video. Thank you.